So this video was originally going to be locked in the bank on town, but it appears as though the game refuses to spawn zombies with the door closed in that particular building. Now finding this out led to an hour or two of experimenting on multiple maps, and I think I figured it out. To make a long story short, if the player is in a room that is either unreasonable to enter with the doors closed, or if the zombies don't have a special made animation to enter the room, then the game will kind of just come to a halt and check again later before spawning in more zombies to see if the player is now in a reasonable room to be in. And this explains why the two-story buildings in town are able to spawn zombies regardless of the doors being closed. This is because you can access both buildings in transit via the top of the bus as intended by the developers. This means you're locked out of like 99% of the spaces within the game if you decide to cheat yourself into those rooms. And the only building that I could find for a locked-in Part 3 was the farmhouse. Now, all that yapping aside, this is not like the other locked-in challenges in any way, shape, or form. Because I'm in a room that I'm not meant to be in, then the windows themselves are not active, which means the zombies will only route to the player if the player appears to be on the map and not within the farmhouse itself. So, the real challenge area is more so the ledge that's right next to jugg and against the railing on the back deck. Both of these areas will trigger the zombies to spawn once the game decides to check again to see if the player is in a viable spot. And let me tell you, playing like this is fucking slow. Wave 10 took about 15 minutes, and each wave would just come to a total standstill if I didn't hang out on the back deck. Let's talk about the actual house itself. So both the top and the bottom floor, they just about mirror each other. There's little differences, but both rooms are cramped with a piece of furniture in the middle. It's unfortunate that you can't mantle the furniture or like jump over it in the way that you can jump over the railings out front. And I guess I could also go ahead and speak on the kitchen, but I mean, the kitchen is effectively a hallway. And speaking on the stairs real quick, these stairs are not anything like the stairs in the bar on town. These things are cramped as hell. I mean, you are not meant to go through these stairs mid-round. I mean, it's just a death wish. Now, going ahead and looking at Wave 10, this is where I've learned to sort of just sit right on the edge of the back deck and the house, and it's working out really well. I'm getting good headshots, and then I don't know how to explain it. I just mess up in the most predictable way possible. I mean, the whole point of being on the edge of the back deck was so that I could run inside, and I get trapped by one zombie. So that's like 15 minutes of progress, just dead. Now going ahead, restarting the game, talking about Wave 9. This is the round before I died last time, so just showing you a quick recap of what that round looks like. And honestly, I mean, there's like nothing to say about it. I've got the raygun again at this point. All you can really do is work on the raygun, and I'm just waiting for zombies to come to the back deck so I can zap them. Now looking at Wave 15, Wave 15 is where it does start to pick up a little bit. I mean, because if I'm on the back deck at all, then I'm most likely going to get at least a couple zombies spawning, and if I sit against that railing, then I get plenty of zombies that come my way, which keeps me busy for a while. Now at this point, I've found that you can just sort of run to the back. I don't have to be on the back deck to engage with them, so it's really simple. This is where Jugg sort of comes into play here. Because every zombie has to run through the crack in the ground to actually get to the back deck, every zombie is on fire. Now, going ahead and speaking about the drops real quick, this is completely different than every other challenge I've done so far. I mean, at the very top of A tier is double points. The positive with double points is I get more box pulls, and I get to pull more box pulls with less kills under my belt. Same thing goes for perks. I need less kills to get my perks, which is great because there are like no kills to go around. And then right below double points, I'm going to go ahead and say the nuke. The nuke shortens the wait to pass the rounds. If there's any zombies within the house itself that are like packed in there, then the nuke will remove them, so I could then go run back to the back deck and wait to spawn more zombies in. Now, in the B tier is going to be insta-kill. Insta-kill is great. I don't have double tap, so this means I don't really have any firepower. Even when I pull the highest DPS bullet weapons out of the box, they still just don't really do anything in the later rounds, so having insta-kill really helped me there. And then in the F tier, I'm going to place the Carpenter. I think you can see why. I mean, the Carpenter, it's terrible. The windows that are in the house, I don't have to worry about. So if all you're doing is fixing the windows outside of the house, that means it takes longer for the zombies to get to me. Effectively, every Carpenter you get makes the game just slightly more boring. So we are skipping every single Carpenter we see. You'll probably see me just staring at Carpenters that are on the back deck and waiting for them to go away because they just fucking ruin everything. Now looking at Wave 20, Wave 20 has definitely picked up. It's kind of like the Wave 15 feels, except it's much more common to have a horde of zombies actually jump up in full, so now it feels really good. But, I mean, with the ray gun, Wave 20, and all the zombies are on fire, so they have a little less health. I mean, it's super simple. I'm just spamming the back deck, waiting for more zombies to come up. The whole process has been streamlined to the point where, like, it's essentially automated. I mean, this is the Soliquifier Part 2. And technically, we do have multiple perks to choose from, so I'll go ahead and rate the perks real quick. I mean, there's only two. It's Speed and Jugg. You're inevitably going to get both of them, so whatever. But I'm going to go ahead and say that Jugg is the worst one of the two. Jugg is just generic. It's not helpful in any way. It's not really a benefit to any one strategy unless it's strictly close quarters, and the house isn't necessarily close quarters. I mean, I'm seeing the zombies jump up from the back deck, I have time to get distance on them, there's no reason for me to be confrontational against the zombies, so Jugg just kinda doesn't matter. And, I mean, the only other perk there is, Speed. I mean, Speed is the only one that makes any sense with this playstyle. If you're going to sit inside of a small, cramped house while zombies flood in here and there, then the only thing you're ever really going to want is just to reload faster. I mean, it's really simple. I would just rather swap both of these out for double tap. I said before in a previous video, I would rather do double the damage and get double the amount of kills per clip than actually reload my guns a little faster. Double tap would have been great. Everything else, whatever. maybe PhD flopper? I mean, probably not, right? Because you're not going to flop off of anything besides my lap. So. I've been drinking, I'm sorry. Now, Wave 24, about to go into 25. I do have the hammer at this point, which honestly is really not that strong. I've said it before, but I'm not impressed by these automatics when there's just no double tap. They just don't feel powerful at all. But it's just more of the same. At this point, it's really just a matter of stopping zombies at the back deck so the house doesn't flood. Even when there's not that many zombies, because I don't have access to the perks I need, I end up needing to resort to like running down into the first floor, which is starting to feel more like a panic room or like a basement. Also, when I go down to that bottom floor, a lot of the zombies don't actually know how to come get me at that point. So you will see there are a couple zombies that are just waiting outside for me until I enter like the top floor again so they can actually jump up and do their little animation thing. Going into round 25, this is where luck really comes into play. I mean, I've just got nothing for this next round, and I'm relying on the box to give me something good quickly. There's an interesting side effect from not opening the door down below, and that is that the wall buy MP5 is not an option. Not that it would really help me all that much in this case anyway, but without that MP5 wall buy, then I'm stuck using just whatever the box gives me. And as you see here, I try my best to train down here, to mixed results. I think I do a pretty good job, but the crawlers just end up getting me. And at that point, it ends at Wave 25. Which, honestly, I mean, I'm perfectly fine with. I hit my goal. I definitely hit a KD that I think is respectable. The next video I have planned is a pretty big deal. That one's going to take me a while, so I apologize for the really short uploads, but that one is probably going to blow all the other challenges out of the water. Not even because of any sort of difficulty, but just because of how fucking tedious that next challenge is. But I'll go ahead and save that for the next upload. But yeah, it's been cool.